నిన్నటిదాకా ఆందోళనలతో అట్టుడికిన చెన్నై మెరీనా బీచ్ ఇప్పుడు నిర్మానుష్యంగా మారింది. బీచ్కు వెళ్లే రహదారులను బ్లాక్ చేశారు పోలీసులు. మెరీనా పరిసరాల్లో వందలాది పోలీసులు పహారా కాస్తున్నారు. నిన్న సాయంత్రమే విద్యార్థులు బీచ్ను ఖాళీ చేశారు. అయితే కొందరు ఆందోళనకారులు మాత్రం ఎంఎంటీఎస్ రైల్వే లైన్లో రైలు రోకో చేపట్టారు. వారిని పోలీసులు అడ్డుకుంటున్నారు. నిన్న జరిగిన సంఘటనలకు సంబంధించి నటుడు కమల్ హాసన్ మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. లైవ్ లో చూద్దాం.
Are we aware of it? I'm equally shocked. I hope some kind of a reasonable explanation is given to us which will sort of calm us down, because this will really scare a common man. I mean, any time he could become the victim of arson or the arsonist himself.
Is there a chance to view the videos showing the police personnel in uniform torching vehicles, indulging in arson? What runs in your mind when you see those visuals? What runs in your mind when you see the visuals?
I only hope they are actors and not policemen. Some actor like me wearing khaki and doing it, at least that you can clearly indicate and vindicate him as a criminal and put him behind bars. What do you do if they are real? I only hope they are not real policemen. That's the only loophole they have now.
Sir, what do you have to say to all these animal welfare boards? How are they?
I'm not qualified to talk about it, in the sense I don't know about boards, or I just run a film company. But what I can tell you is we have an animal welfare board which is capable of running. It's like the censor board or something. Why are we having additional stack up of other bodies which are working with it? That is why I think some of them want Penta out of the scene. I mean Peter out of the scene. So it's a new name. See, I mispronounce it even now. We've heard of SPCA in olden days and the Royal Society for Prevention of RSPCA and stuff like that. But then this is a new name for us. Probably they mean well, but what we are saying is don't come around with bans. Regulate it. More people die of automobile accidents than in Jallikattu, much more. We don't ban automobile driving, or the sport of racing should be stopped because it's dangerous.
Also, PETA has filed a case in Supreme Court against the elephants, which are being
Yes, but nothing has happened. My thing is it's still going on. You have not banned it, whereas you ban us. Once again, I was against any kind of ban, be it my film or my bull. I was sitting here crying hoarse about my film being banned for no reason at all. There was no clear reason. I mean, they said it's an anti-Muslim film. It was not. I say it now, not because it's, even then I shouted. If I kept quiet then and talked now, that makes me a coward. Now it makes me only a sufferer who's remembering it again when something else is happening to my people.
the welfare board is not understanding the culture and practices of people. Do you think animal welfare board is not considering the cultural practices of the people?
If they're not considered, see, if I make a mistake, if I've hurt somebody's feeling by saying something, I can correct it by genuinely asking for an apology. No law or no justice system is infallible. In Tamil we call it Pidaya Perumai Needhikku Kedaiyadu. Tappe pannada needhinu solla mudiyadu. We have corrected every law in the country, including Manunidhi. We've thrown it away. We don't go by Manunidhi. It used to be the law. And everything changed. We changed it.
Sir, several film personalities, not as big in nature as you, but say a Raghav Lawrence and R.J. Balaji,
have been accused of making inflammatory speeches at these rallies. What do you have to say about that?
I haven't heard the speech, so I can't comment. But everybody was making inflammatory speeches. This whole agitation came out of inflammation over probably decades of various kinds of angers. I'm not blaming one party. I'm just looking at the system, looking at our media. Us, me, you and I have taken this self-flagellation for a little too long. And somewhere we are all coming out with this groan. It's a.
How do you see this sudden pent-up of anger? How do you see this sudden pent-up of anger from youngsters?
It cannot be sudden.
Do you think that this can be only tagged with Jallikattu?
I think we found a reason. That's all. Jallikattu was the reason, but we were looking for reasons.
So we don't know.
For the fact that 6th day we saw peaceful protests of movement.
Now, there is another accusal about the students. When they said they came for Jallikattu, as I right now say, this agitation was a symbol of their discontent. When I was part of the Hindi agitation, it was not against the language Hindi. I used to pray in Sanskrit. I used to pray to a god before till I lost it. But it was not against people because we knew that Motilal ji, Jawaharlal ji all spoke a language which is Hindi. We knew Gandhiji spoke Hindi. It is not against the language. It is against the thrusting of language on us and making us all overnight illiterates and not making us lose the central government jobs. That was what it was about. And it was fair. And it had a series of, a litany of woes they had not spoken of. And it was not only for that agitation was the beginning of a rumbling volcano.
So the state government represented by the police have acted differently, and in your estimation, what are the biggest takeaways or lessons learned from the civil society agitation, which was voluntary, spontaneous, and
there are
non-violent for the better part of last week?
See, one of the we have many precedents done by chief ministers of Tamil Nadu alone. Let's not take about the genius of Gandhi or other people. Here we are seeing great Rajaji has done, where by not acting with government power, he diffused things, ailment just fizzled out because he just told the policeman not to indulge in any kind of policing. It saved a lot. Whatever they would have created in their momentary freedom or anger would be much less if police had taken at the time. We have prison. I can almost imagine a scenario where MGR would come to be. All of us imagine it. We can almost see him walking, and if they didn't allow him to come and there were slogans raised against him, he would have come and put another cot and lay on the opposite side near Commissioner's office and also with you, or agitating with you. I even to them and said, please, if you feel, will come. There won't be a bottle pelting or a pelting. I don't know how actors will come. I don't want to be colored as a party man, any party man for that matter. But I don't mind the colorment, and that is my people. And I'm big worry of the children and women there. It has never happened before. Gandhiji's dream had come true. At 12 o'clock in the night, a Bijwal woman should be able to walk in India, and that is when we've truly got freedom. And you saw healthy, happy Nirayas sitting there amidst my brothers. It's possible. It's possible even in Delhi. I believe in people. He should have my comment. I said we should not steal land from them. I said it before, I'm saying it again. Truth cannot be modified. That's why I kept away. They called me, came to the office and said, I said, well, because I was scared. This is the most scared moment talking to the press. But I'm talking. My words, these are not my words. These are Albert Camus' words. Not me. I may not be able to lead you. Not lead me. May not be able to follow you. Let's work together. It's possible. Make one of the movement a leaderless movement, but look at the vision of it. When people get there, they are happy. When you go on a picnic, you climb mountains. When you're in an office sitting in an air-conditioned room, you're dead. Because you go to that picnic with so much joy and witness. Here, you're working for money paid to you. You're looking at your watch for the time to go back home. Nobody wanted to go back home. That was their home temporarily. I was very touched by it.
So what do you see as a citizen? What do you think you can do with regards to the political crisis in Tamil Nadu?
See, political crisis it will always be there. It's for people to be vigilant, and that is why the voting system. I don't know whether even this latest thing about compulsory voting, I don't think is a great idea, because it goes against the actual tenets of democracy. You cannot force anyone. It's their choice. Not voting is also a statement. But voting is important. I do agree. But giving incentives for voting is only legitimizing doling out money for votes. That's my feeling. My humble opinion is, if you're giving incentives for voters to come and vote, it's the same. Not that you failed to do your job, but I'm only enhancing your hand.
So, when every actor has his or her own right to take a pro-Jallikattu stand, not a single person from the entertainment industry has raised the voice against or towards the cruelty part of it. Is there also a pressure, especially for those actors like you who have a huge following, to show the public sentiment, larger public sentiment?
Yes, they are always worried, because I'm one of the few actors. Nowadays, people are scared to wear this color. I've always worn it. And it is a political statement. And I'm making it. Being non-religious is also a political. Being religious is also a political statement. I mean, it's a party, a party of gods, and I don't belong to it.
But is there pressure on people like you?
Yes, it is. People keep telling me, you're a film actor, why are you risking the fact by exposing what you are? I said, I'm not a drug addict to be ashamed of it. I'm just a rationalist. I don't. What's wrong with me exposing it? Some people say I'm a Tamilian. Some people say I hate Pakistan. And I say that I don't want to hate. I want to rub out the borders. We created that border. If I had been born instead of in 1954, if I had been born in 1924, I would have been sitting in front of Gandhi and asking for unity between Pakistan and India, and not give them a separate state. They should have been with us. That is my feeling, even now.
But with regard to Jallikattu, do you think many are pressure to take a pro-Jallikattu stand, although they may personally have a different view in terms of cruelty?
Maybe they. But for me, I have taken the stand. If you watch my public statement, the kind of films I made, I was the only actor who made a film on two issues. One is a Jallikattu, another is death sentence. Both in the same film. I'm against death sentence. Once again, law is not infallible, so you cannot make judgments those are irreversible. That is our argument. I'm sure many great legal minds will have a counter argument for that. But our punitive measures could be redrafted to make it work for society, not through irreversible laws. our life sentence is not long enough. It's 8 years, 14. It's about the same punishment that Lord Ram got for being the prince of Ayodhya. That's all you get for murder too. So that's not fair enough. A life sentence should be a deterrent. Then we can do away with death sentence. These are my laws. Now I'm talking. Why are we talking about this now? Because day after tomorrow, we might have another press meet where again it will come under discussion. I've been talking about Jallikattu and why it need not be banned for the past 13 years. Not because I did Viramandi. It's the other way around. What was in my mind became a film.